The galaxy watched the last two surviving alien girls of a conquered species with cruel amusement. Orphans, lost causes, trophies of war. No one expected the human to step forward, especially not him. Not the silent engineer with grease-stained hands and eyes that had seen too much. When he took them in, it wasn't out of pity. It was a promise. A quiet, terrifying promise that changed the future of the galaxy forever. They stood in a corner of the refugee hold, two small figures wrapped in tattered cloth. Their skin shimmered faintly with blue, the signature tone of the Lasari, once proud, now extinct. The elder girl was barely 10, her silver-white hair a tangled mess. The younger clutched her hand, eyes wide and silent. The crowd that passed them in the docking bay of Station Seraph 9 barely looked twice. Some sneered. Others muttered, "Why'd they even let him live?" The Lasari homeworld had burned only a cycle ago, its orbiting moons shattered under kinetic bombardment. Their proud fleets, torn apart. Their culture, deleted from databases. They weren't prisoners anymore. Just leftovers. On the station's announcement screens, voices spoke of peace, progress, and rehabilitation. But no one would take the girls in. Until the human stepped forward. He said nothing at first, just walked up slowly. A tall man in a worn black coat, face unshaven, boots scarred. He had no rank, no insignia, just oil on his hands and a datapad stuffed in his belt. "You'll scare them," hissed a station officer. "They don't talk." The man didn't answer. He knelt slowly, looking the older girl in the eyes. She stared back, not blinking. Then she whispered, barely audible, "You'll take us too? Like the others?" He shook his head. "No, I'm not taking you." Her eyes dropped. "I'm keeping you." That night, the girls left with him. The station logged it quietly, custodial transfer approved. One human guardian, T. Mason. Destination, Old Earth Sector. No one expected anything of it. They should have. Mason didn't speak much. His ship, the Vera, was old. Pre-Empire tech. Steel bones, humming engines, manual controls. The younger girl, Lura, hid in the corner the first few days. The older, Sira, watched everything, analyzing the screens, tracing the ship's schematics on paper. Mason gave them space, fed them, protected them, but never treated them as fragile. One evening, after fixing a damaged cooling line, he handed Sira a wrench. "Try." She blinked. "I don't know how." He shrugged. "Then learn." That was the start. Soon, Lura was helping him replace fuses. Sira was learning to code ancient Earth language into the ship's logic board. Mason didn't give them pity. He gave them tools, and silence, and time. And that taught them to grow. Months passed. Then came the incident at Boros Station. A pair of slavers, humanoid, armored, sneering, spotted the girls in a mechanics bay while Mason was trading scrap. "That your cargo?" one asked. "Pretty little Lissari pets." Sira flinched. Lura grabbed her sister's sleeve. Mason arrived seconds later. The slavers laughed. "What's a junker like you doing with highborn blue bloods?" "They're not cargo," Mason said. The taller slaver chuckled. "No offense, old man, but we're in the trade. You could name a price." Mason's eyes didn't change. Just one step forward. "Walk away." Slavers laughed again. And then Mason moved. It was fast, brutal, efficient. One elbow shattered a rib. A twist dislocated a knee. A boot slammed into the taller slaver's throat before he could scream. Both went down in seconds. No weapons. No threats. Just human precision, born of a life in wars no one talked about. The girls watched in silence. Later that night, Lura finally asked, "Where did you learn to fight like that?" Mason, bandaging a knuckle, replied, "Used to be a soldier. For Earth." He nodded. "Before the galaxy knew our name." Word spread. A human engineer raising Lissari orphans. Some mocked him. Others watched. But Mason didn't care. He taught the girls how to fly, how to speak old Terran dialects, how to repair oxygen systems, and hack into outdated Empire protocols. They weren't just surviving anymore. They were becoming. Then came the distress call. A mining freighter on the fringe of Lissari space, still labeled restricted, was under attack by pirates. Mason heard the call. So did a dozen mercenary groups. Only one ship answered. The Vera. Inside the burning freighter, pirates roamed freely, expecting no resistance. They found 3 figures waiting. Mason, in a sealed Old Earth exosuit. Sira, With a pulse rifle she'd rebuilt from scrap. Lura, small and silent, with hacked doors sealing hallways behind the invaders. The pirates fell in minutes. One survivor begged. Who? Who the hell are you people? Mason stepped over him. Just a mechanic and his daughters. That footage spread across ShadowNets. 2 Lasari girls. 1 human guardian. Taking down a pirate crew alone. The laughing stopped. And something else began. The Lasari, once extinct, now had symbols. Names. Sira and Lura. The last 2. Not just victims, but voices. Mason didn't post messages. He didn't argue politics. He just kept training them. Taught them how to outfly drone swarms. How to outmaneuver orbital defenses. How to build systems from nothing. And quietly, others began to follow. More humans, raising alien orphans. More ships flying under no flag, but helping where others wouldn't. A movement began. They called it the Quiet Reclamation. The galaxy that had laughed at the girls now started whispering about them and fearing what they represented. Because one human hadn't just saved them. He had turned grief into power. Years passed. On the anniversary of the Lasari fall, the Galactic Council met on high-orbit station Elian to finalize the erasure of Lasari heritage from galactic records. Just as the motion passed, the lights dimmed. Every screen across the station flickered, and a message played. Not from an admiral, not from a politician, but from Sira. No threats, no war cries. Just a girl, now grown, sitting on the Vera's bridge. She said, "We remember everything, and we rebuild. Not with hatred, not with fire, but with knowledge. You tried to erase us, but one human didn't let you. Now, you will never forget us again." Behind her stood Mason, not smiling, not speaking, but watching, because he had kept his promise. He hadn't just taken the girls in. He had changed everything.